am back with another May I Scraplift You, and today we are scraplifting Henri Kobayashi. Now I do have to say that I just love saying her name. I'm sorry, that's messed up. But I ran across her through Instagram, and I just love all the little details in her layouts, and I thought that I would attempt to do this particular layout. Now, I'm not sure if you guys noticed or not, but right up, where is it at? Right up in here, I don't know, here's my finger. She's got all these tiny little paper stars behind a mixed media background. Yes. And if I stare at it long enough, it almost looks like she has them popped up, you guys. Yeah. So it's all in the detail. Now, the more I looked at it, the more she also had a stencil with a white base, and then she painted on top of it. So I don't have a grid stencil. All I have is this chicken wire. So I'm going to try to make this work and splash it on with my Vicki Boutin modeling paste. And then, of course, I have best luck with a silicone spatula more than the plastic ones or metal ones. I've never tried a metal one, to be honest. What else do I have? She has very little embellishing. I mean, she has a title, a subtitle, and one of these clear stickers from the from one of these collections. I'm going to use Sunkissed. And then I have my tiny words. I didn't pick out my tiny words just yet. So I pulled out both small talk and chit chat because I don't know if I want like a saying or if I want to build my own saying. So go from there, and then, well, when I build my own saying, it never seems to have the right words in it that I want. But hey, I also have this. I believe it came in my Not Just for Boys kit club, because this is something that I normally wouldn't buy on my own because these words are very specific, and even though I love the fact that they are just black and white, it just, I would rather have the tiny alphas than pre-made words. They just never seem to be the words I need. Just saying. But these are Pink Paisley 5th and Monaco, and I was thinking about using Celebrate This Day because, you know, they're pictures of my husband's birthday, and a friend of ours made a cake for him. So that's our photos, and my 3 youngest are being just silly gooses, and I just absolutely love how sweet the photo is, and, you know, my husband looks like a baby, to be honest. I also pre-punched out my stars from just basically scraps that I already had. That way I didn't have to go and pick out an ombre paper like she did. Normally I don't have scraps of an ombre. It's all or nothing in my world. I have a glass of water, my round brushes. So I have a brush for my cools and a brush for my warms. And then I have not all, but some Dilutions sprays going on here in a rainbow of color. Now, if I was to leave any of them out, it might be this periwinkle right here, just because it was kind of sort of blue, but it might show up a little too purple for me. So I also have kind of sort of like paint palettes. Yeah, that's what they are. It's packaging. Okay, so I plan on taking a piece of packaging, one for every color, spraying it on here and using it as my paint palette to paint it on. I'm not going to use the kissing technique because it's very specific how she has her little swirly gig going around. And then this one was left over from another project. I had pink and, what was the other one? Peach? Pink and peach. Also sprayed, but I don't want, it's a boy layout, so I stuck with primary colors. I don't want that pinky color, so I just kept this one. I think it'll be close to Mushy Peas, but, you know, nobody's going to notice if it's not, and it has a little bit of sparkle. It'll be fine. So I just plan on spraying and then painting And because I don't want my colors to blend too much, I'm going to be drawing in between each layer. You guys, I'm not an artist, so I have no clue how it's going to look or what it's even going to turn out. The only thing that I can tell you, to be honest, is I have more paper. So if I don't like what I'm getting ready to do and I don't like the technique of the way it's working, I'll get a new sheet and start over. This happens to be a Vicki Boutin foundation paper. It's specifically for mixed media. Not sure. It's this right here. And it's uber super thick. Not gonna lie, it's very, very thick. 140 pound, which doesn't mean anything to me, but it's the thickness. So yeah, don't stress on the small stuff, you guys. Seriously, just don't do it. And then she also has her photo either backed in vellum or tissue. And so that's all I planned on doing as well. Okay, so here we go. That is what we are going to do. Actually, depending on my sprays, I might back it in that packaging. Let's see how that looks, right? So I'm going to get started. I am going to wipe the lint off my desk because I live in a desert. I'm going to go and put my mixed media on, and I have to wait for it to dry, and then I'll come back and paint. All right, let's get going. All right, so I am going to start with this Vicki Boutin, and I wasn't sure if I wanted my chicken wire to go straight up and down or at an angle. And I thought that I would just do it straight up and down. That way there's no thinking involved when it all lines up. Anyways, also, when you have a modeling paste like this, just FYI, in case anybody doesn't know or they're new to mixed media, you want to keep that little annoying foam piece. Don't put it in the cap either, because if it stays in the cap won't go in all the way, excuse me, and it won't create a seal, and then your mixed media dries up faster than you want it to. So the Vicki Boutin mixed media is kind of sort of my favorite, especially in the area that I live in, because it is the only one that doesn't dry out over time, and I'm not very fast at using up my mixed media or at like constantly using it, if that makes any sense. So anyways, now that that is done and dry and full of lint, so I had to blow some off. And I do have to tell you guys that I'm kind of on a video call with a girlfriend. So I do kind of sort of get distracted here and there, and I show her at one point in time what I'm working on, stuff like that. So if it does kind of seem a little bit weird or I pause a lot, that is why. So I started off with the Periwinkle blue, and now I have added London blue. This is my favorite blue in the whole wide world for the Dylusions inks. I do love the saturation of these inks, by the way. I can't get enough of them. My only problem with them is that even though they're dry, they react under any circumstance. I could put dry ink on them, and next thing you know, my ink is muddy because they reacted. I could put water on them, and bam, they reacted. I don't know how to set them in stone, to be honest. So I am just kind of sort of mimicking what, oh golly, I'm kind of sort of mimicking what is in the layout based off of, you know, the design. And when I showed it to my girlfriend, she was like, hey, there was a illustrated faith print that looked just like that. And I was like, really? And she says, yeah, but it was the United States. And so it was a muted color like this, and you know, rainbowy, but it was like the North America. That's what I meant to say. And so anyways, I was looking at my inspiration photo to make sure that that wasn't the paper that she used, and it was not. She definitely painted her background as well. I wished I could have found a video so that way there was, I could watch her how she did it. But I kind of wanted to see how I could mimic it myself, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Probably not. So the green, the mushy peas didn't come out as I wanted it to, and I could not reactivate the Heidi Swapp Color Shine. Once it was on my plastic sheet and dried, it was there for life. It was not going to be reactivated or come back up, which is a good thing. I learned something new today, but it was probably also the alcohol. It kind of works like alcohol ink does. And so when it dried to a slick surface, it stayed on the slick surface. So that was kind of cool. Moving on to the yellow, I absolutely love how what is the word? How it blended in to the fresh lime, and the yellow is lemon zest. And then I'm going to move on to the squeezed orange. And I like how this one blended into the yellow as well. So truth be told, I totally forgot that I brought out 2 paintbrushes, and I definitely just used the water and cleaned off the brush. When it came to this red though, I actually wanted the different variations in red. Like I wanted a peachy red, and then I wanted a more of a red, and then I wanted a softer red. So I saturated my red slightly with water, and then a little bit more with water because I wanted it to be a little bit more pastel-y, because I definitely didn't want it to look like, you know, it was blood dripping down my page. I just didn't want that at all. And then I do go back and forth between the red and the orange, because I'm still looking for that blend that I want. And then I do bring in my photo quite a bit, just so that way I can see that I'm not going to cover up all of this painting that I end up doing. So, and yeah, I don't clean my brush between the orange and the red, because I want that mix. I want that peachy, reddy, orangey, whatever color mix of color. And definitely the warm tones took over this layout more than the cool tones did. Yep, change the subject because I don't know what I'm talking about. I did like the darker orange, so I'm just going back in. Now I am using very little ink. That's how saturated these colors are for the Delusions. They are so colorful. It is unbelievable. I barely have anything on my paintbrush. I barely have any water on my paintbrush. And my paint is almost dried, and I am able to, move it around and everything like that with just a little bit of water, and not have to worry about, I don't know, like, I don't know what the words are. But all it takes is a little bit of water to reactivate these colors and get them to move around like I am now. I definitely wanted, when I watercolor, I love those harsh lines, the dry lines or whatever they're called. I absolutely love those, and I wanted a whole bunch of those. Now in the sample layout, there is definitely she must have used paper towels, dabbed it up and then added more, and then dabbed it up and added more. But I kind of wanted the vibrant colors. I didn't want muted colors, if that makes sense. It's a birthday, right? I don't hardly do any birthdays, and so I definitely wanted to make sure that I did a birthday. That it was bright like a birthday. So anyways, still just painting along, and then I definitely wanted to do a bunch of splatters in all the various colors going down, so that way it wasn't so stark white all throughout the base layout, if that makes any sense. I wanted to make sure that it definitely, I don't like a white background, in all honesty. I have a hard time with a white background. And so I definitely wanted to bring in that color some way, shape, or form, even if it's just a little bit. And I think that these sprinkles definitely add to that. All right, so now that I have my my background done and dried, I really like it, you guys. I love how I can see the hexagon print in the red, and then it kind of looks opposite in the blue and the greens. I absolutely love that. So I'm going to start on the stars. Now the stars take quite a bit because you are gluing down one at a time. And so I did kind of sort of fast forward that. And just like the inspiration sketch, I am actually going the opposite in color. So I basically reversed the rainbow and did the blues on top and the reds on the bottom. That's what reversing the rainbow means. I also had to go in and pull out a peachy pink, more of a peach. That's a peachy red. So that way I had a variation between red and the orange. So plus I kind of wanted each color to be on the different colors of the ink. So I'm taking my idea of maybe possibly using my so-called faux palettes and putting them behind my photo, but then they were just, for one, the orange and the yellow weren't all that bright. They didn't dry very well. And so it wasn't what I was expecting. And the other colors didn't look good on the orange and the yellow. So I opted just to go with vellum, just like in the inspiration sketch. And also I am going to pop it up. That way the vellum does kind of have that haze around it. Popping it up helps it a lot because then it doesn't get any of that color going on from the stars and stuff like that. So I think that it helps out a lot popping up the vellum and the vellum photo mat. Yeah. Oh, I absolutely love this, you guys. I love how it looks just by itself. So I am going to take the word celebrate. I was very impressed with these little puffy letters. For one, they were so uber soft and so uber puffy. I just really liked them. I didn't think I was going to be honest, but I liked them. It took a few minutes to go through my little book. I fast forwarded for you guys because it did take quite a while. I found 2 words that I really liked. One says make a wish, and then the other one is clearly longer than that, and I don't remember what it says, but they were all kind of about wishing and wishes and birthday saying stuff. And so I thought, well, I don't really do a whole lot of birthdays, and I'm not going to remember that I had 2 sayings in that little book. And so I just went ahead and I built a small little cluster up on the top of the photo, even though it is not in my inspiration sketch. So, and then I didn't have the exact same swatches as what was in the inspiration sketch either. And so I kind of built my own based off of the colors. I thought at first I wanted to do on the blue side because that's the side that I'm down at the bottom of. And then I realized that no, I really like, the warmer tones. So now I'm just looking for a flare. She used a wooden button that was also from the Sunkissed collection. Sorry, forgot it for a sec. And I was trying to see if I had something different. And instead I remembered that I had these wooden buttons. At first I forgot. And now that I'm looking at it, like right now, I should have put that wooden button on the other side of my red strip. Just to say, fill in that little gap between the pink, the red, and the orange of the paint swatches. So here it is. Here's the close-up. Now I did not pop dot any of my stars, you guys. It definitely was tedious to glue all those stars down, but it did go by pretty fast. All right, I want to thank everyone for watching. Be sure to check out Henri on her Instagram. I'll have the link down below. And also check out everyone else that is playing along with Crystal. She is Pineapple Papers here on YouTube for this awesome May I Scraplift You hop. All right, I'll check y'all tomorrow. Bye.